So you probably had this happen. You study for hours and hours, but a week later, you can't remember most of it. I know the feeling. I'm a fourth year med student, and for years I've been testing evidence based methods to learn effectively and efficiently. And if you don't fix this, you keep wasting hours on study sessions that won't actually stick. In this video, I'm going to show you one of the simplest methods I use. It just takes few minutes, but it will drastically boost retention and understanding of information. So you can finally learn faster, remember more, and walk into exams knowing the information will be there when you need it. Before I show you the method, let's first understand why it works. If not, you never know how important it is. Imagine you're going on a holiday to a completely new place, somewhere you've never been before. Do you just get on a bus, get off at a random stop, and start walking around? Probably not, right? What we usually do is open Google Maps, check the main roads, find out where the hotel is, and see what attractions are nearby. That way, when you arrive, you are not completely lost. You already have a mental structure, a map, that makes exploring much easier. Now imagine if you didn't do that. When you land in a new city, within minutes you feel completely lost. You are overwhelmed, confused, and probably frustrated. Learning works in the exact same way. If you read a textbook or a lecture note without knowing what's coming, it's like arriving in that city without the map. Your brain is hit with tons of new terms, ideas, and details, and it has nowhere to put them. That's when you feel lost, distracted, or the material is too hard. And here's the key. Your brain doesn't learn new information in isolation. It learns by connecting new things to what you already know. If you don't have an existing framework, there's nothing to connect the new information to, and you will forget most of what you learn. Research shows that if we know the basic structure of the information we are going to learn before actually learning it, it will help to learn deeply and remember the information for a long time. That's why the method I'm going to show you is so effective. It gives you a mental map before diving into the details. With this structure, you are not just memorizing random facts, you are connecting them into a system. And once you do that, your retention and understanding will skyrocket. We can divide the method into 3 steps. Step 1 is about reducing cognitive overload before you even start learning. Think about what usually happens when you open a textbook or a set of notes. You are bombarded with paragraphs, diagrams, and dozens of unfamiliar information. Within minutes, your brain feels overwhelmed. This is what we call cognitive overload. This happens when your working memory can't handle so much new information at once. But here's the thing, you don't need to understand everything up front. You just need the main ideas. So the first step is, before you properly study, skim through your material and look for keywords. These keywords are the bold terms, the headings, the subheadings, and the highlighted words. Those are the key ideas you need to understand the topic. For example, when I'm learning psychiatry, I open my textbook and instead of trying to read the 20-page chapter on schizophrenia, I just pick out the main keywords like positive symptoms, negative symptoms, dopamine hypothesis, atypical antipsychotics, and prognosis. When you identify a keyword, think about its meaning. If you come across a keyword you don't understand, do a 10-second Google search. Not a deep dive, just enough to know what the word roughly means. For example, if you don't know what dopamine hypothesis is, a quick glance will tell you it's about the dopamine imbalance in the brain. That's all you need for now. Like that, make a list of keywords you think are important to understand the topic. By doing this, you've given your brain hooks, like signposts on a map, so when you later read the details, you already know what's coming and where it belongs. And instead of drowning in the information, you feel like you're exploring a new city with a map in hand. Step 2 is the most important step. It is turning those keywords into a structure. Now that you have your keywords, you need to connect them. Think of it like building a scaffolding for a building. Without the scaffolding, the pieces won't hold together. With scaffolding, every new piece has a place. Doing this will help you to identify the connection between information you are going to learn. And according to research, if you know the connection between the information you are going to learn, you will remember them for a long time. The way to do this is by creating a mind map. Take the list of keywords and think about how you can group them. Which ones are similar, which ones are opposites, which ones are the cause and the effect. For example, let's go back to schizophrenia. You might put symptoms in the center, then branch it into positive and negative. From positive symptoms, you draw out hallucinations, delusions, and disorganized thinking. From treatment, you branch into typical and atypical antipsychotics. Don't worry if your mind map is messy or even wrong at first. That's normal. You are not aiming to build the perfect mind map. You are aiming to build a skeleton. You can always refine it as you learn more. Also, keep it simple. Only use the keywords you think are the most important. You can expand the mind map later. Here's why this is so powerful. By drawing these connections, you are literally wiring your brain for memory. Research shows that the more links you create between the concepts, the easier it is to recall them later. It's like creating a spider web. Every new fact falls into it gets caught because it has multiple threads. Without the web, the facts just slide off. So now, instead of scattered terms, you have a structured, interconnected map of the topic. That's your mental scaffolding. And once you have that, you never feel lost when studying. Step 3 is where you actually learn the content. But here's the mistake most people make. They try to read once, understand everything, and memorize it all in one go. That almost never works. It's like trying to build an entire house in one day. It collapses. Instead, with the help of the mind map to visualize how everything relates to each other, you want to study in passes. On the first pass, read quickly. Focus on the main ideas. Don't stress about the details. While doing this, refer back to the mind map and see where each idea fits. On the second pass, slow down and read a bit deeper. Add more details to the mind map. If a part of your mind map is incorrect, erase and correct that part. Notice the connections you missed before and update the mind map. On the third pass, go even deeper. Now you are not just recognizing terms, you are understanding mechanisms, exceptions, and applications. After each pass, take a look at the mind map and see how everything relates to each other and understand the big picture. This process does two things. It prevents cognitive overload because you are not just forcing your brain to digest everything at once. And it will strengthen your memory because you are repeatedly visiting the content in an organized way. By the end, you don't just know the topic, you internalized it. You can explain it, connect it, recall it weeks or months later without rereading the entire chapter. That's the magic of combining mind maps with multiple passes of learning. This is just one method you can use to learn effectively and efficiently. There's many more. Knowing those will help you to cut your study time by 90%, but perform exceptionally well in exams. I will be making videos on those methods, so subscribe here to see those videos.